First question then. So the first question, we get a little bit of information. Maddie is a 15-year-old cross-country runner. She trains regularly for her event. We then get to see a table showing her training in the lead up to her cross-country race at the end of the week. And we're asked to explain 2 principles of training Maddie has applied to her training sessions. Each one's 2 marks. The first thing I'd be looking at is she's clearly put some rest days in. So we're going to get 1 mark for saying she's used the principle of training of rest and recovery. For the second mark, you just need to explain that. So if you've put something along the lines of she uses rest days to ensure that her body and her muscles have time to repair in the lead up to a race, then that's going to be your second mark. For the second principle, I would be going with specificity. She's clearly made the sessions specific to her as a cross-country runner, because we can see they're all aerobic based sessions. One of them's even working, it shows, in her aerobic training threshold at 60 to 80% of her maximum heart rate. So if you said specificity, great, and then if you just explain it, she's clearly made her training sessions specific to cross-country by doing a lot of cardiovascular work, then that's going to be your second mark. We probably don't have enough information if you to make a decision on whether she's taken into account her individual needs. We don't know about any previous injuries or about her level of fitness, so we can't really judge that. And then equally so, we probably can't talk about the fit principle because we've only seen 1 week of training. If you'd seen a 4-week training plan, then maybe we could have said that she'd used the fit principle in order to see progressive overload. Next question, give an example that shows how Maddie could apply the principle of progressive overload to one of her training sessions. So you've got a few options here, but possibly the easiest one is she could have increased the time of one of her training sessions. So she could have increased the 60 minutes up to 80 minutes, for example. She could have increased the frequency of one of her sessions. So she could have done the run at various intensities. She's done it twice. She could have done it 3 times in the week, and she could have increased the frequency. Or she could have increased the intensity of her work. And the way she could have done that is we've got some information about the intensity of her Tuesday session. It says she ran at 60 to 80% of her maximum heart rate. If she upped the intensity to 70 to 80%, then that's showing that she's using the fit principle. So any one of those answers is absolutely fine. The next question, Miriam adds a tricep dip station to her circuit. She applies the principles of progressive overload to a tricep dip station. She thinks this could increase the muscular endurance and strength in her arms. Explain how Miriam could do this. Use an example in each of your answers. So again, we're thinking about the fit principle here, because the fit principle, if you follow that, it causes progressive overload. So muscular endurance in her arms for triceps. So muscular endurance, we've got to see her working for a longer period of time. So that's going to be your first mark. She needs to increase the time on the tricep dip station. This would mean that her triceps work for longer and she completes more reps, therefore increasing her overall muscular endurance. So if you put an answer similar to that, you're going to pick up your 3 marks. The next part is on muscular strength in her arms. So it's no good increasing the time for this one because she needs to be working harder for less time, really. So the way she can do that is increase the intensity. And if she's doing tricep dips, what she can do is use a weight or place a weight on her legs, which is therefore going to make her work harder and make her use a muscular strength by increasing that intensity. So if you put something along those lines, if you talked about intensity and then talked about adding a weight and how that's going to increase muscular strength, then you're going to get your 3 marks for that question.